What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Pep Talk Pod. We live again tonight. How everybody doing?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello,
Hey,
our live
everyone.
stream family. Yes, we love going live. It gives us an opportunity to interact with our fans. So make sure you go hit that subscribe button. Make sure you leave us a comment and a question. We're ready for all the smoke tonight because we got lots of opinions. Starting with the most watched women's basketball game on record, 12.3 million viewers. The Iowa LSU rematch. Iowa wins 94-87. Seems like the whole world's watching this game, and for varying reasons, and we can get to that a little bit later. But Miss Caitlin Clark, she showed out. What can I say? Guys, what was that game last night? What can you say?
It was a debacle.
Feelings fresh. It's the fact that you got
that we was late.
Solid.
Sorry, man. We was late. A couple people was eating before we got in here, but I ain't gonna name no names.
Huh?
Guys, Caitlin Clark. What can you say? Is she? I feel like the narrative right now is. Tracy, you said you thought the outcome was predetermined. Why did you say that?
I just felt like that. I just felt like not that LSU was not going to play hard, but I just felt like their coach was not going to call a good game. Like there was some stuff leading up to this game that she stayed in the press. To me, she was not prepared for her like she should have been, based on all the other stuff that she allowed to kind of like take her focus off this game. So I felt like she just was gonna blow it, and unfortunately I was right.
Well, Caitlin scored 41 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. They had Haley Van Leeth on her. Haley has struggled I want to say the last 2 or 3 games. She looked like there was nothing she could do. I was waiting on Kim to make some kind of adjustment on defense, put somebody else on her. I know a couple of ladies like Flau'jae were in foul trouble, but Sean, what do you think about Kim Mulkey's game plan?
I do not think Kim Mulkey had a game plan, and this is why I found that timing of that article and everything that came in the article to be very interesting, because I felt like, aside from all of the pressure to win this game and everything that they had on their backs, riding on the redemption story for Caitlin Clark and Iowa and all that, I felt like that was already a lot of pressure. That was already a big burden for those girls to carry. And so when you got to watch the game all the way through, you realize that they had no defensive strategy for Iowa at all. And so if you're going to allow Caitlin Clark to sit beyond the arc and shoot all night long, you're going to lose. And that's just the reality of it. Definitely. I mean, you understand that that's their game plan, to get her open and to get her to shoot. And she doesn't have to get wide open. She just got to be able to see the goal, And so she can see the basket, the ball's going in the air. That's just all it is. They didn't do any double teaming at all, man. What I didn't like was that Flau'jae got into a little bit of foul trouble. I felt like the refs did a lot of makeup calling. I didn't particularly care for it. Some of those calls that they call, you were like, wait a minute, what? And then once you realize that the call was bad, they go back on the other end and try and make it up. In those type of situational games, you cannot make those calls up. When you make them and they bad, it changes the whole trajectory of the game. You understand what I'm saying? And so now you got Flau'jae, who's a key player in this tournament. How she put this team on her back in this tournament. She had not played her best game leading up to now for the season, the regular season. But you get her in foul trouble, then you get Angel Reese in foul trouble, and you get Anissa, knocked to the ground. And it's just like you're messing up key players for them. They don't have depth in the bench, unfortunately. And so you understand all night long, they, on the flip side of it is Angel dominated and she had her way. They couldn't stop her under the basket. But the other side of that is you ain't gonna win no game 3s versus 2s. The 3s gonna always outweigh the 2s any given game. You see what I'm saying? You shot 20-something 3s, right? But you shooting 20-something 2s. The math ain't never gonna math on that. So you got to have an answer for that. Nobody's shot game was on last night. Williams
None.
pulled them out of the hole here and there every now and then when they left her on the court to actually get hot and get in rotation. Flage's shot was not hitting. She looked like she was somewhere out in space. Her and Haley Van Lith was somewhere out in space. I mean, it was just a total debacle. It was very frustrating to watch, needless to say.
Melissa, you were chiming in there. What you got?
Listen, I was just the amen corner, baby, to everything that she said. Ditto, ditto, ditto. Let me just say that I have to agree. I was talking during the game, and I was like, any particular reason why Flage is not on CC? You know, I ain't gonna say what I called her. Yeah, just like that. Why she wasn't on CC? Like, what's the problem? How you gonna put, Haley, who looked like she was running with 2 left feet, baby? Because I was like, what's going on?
She's not a defensive player.
No,
correct.
Never had
not.
game.
I
She is not a
understand.
defensive
So you put a
player.
non-defensive player on her. Is when Flage was on CC, there was nothing that CC could do. Nothing at all. There was nothing that she could do. Even when Angel Reese blocked a couple of her shots, stole balls, there was nothing that CC could do. So I'm like, Monkey, what you doing over there? You must be on something that don't nobody else need to be on.
She
Just
went
they had
looking at the highlights for me.
Ooh.
Because I didn't watch the game, but just looking at the highlights for me, no, I didn't. To me, the first half was so different than the second half. The first half of the game, I don't know what adjustments that she should not have done, but she made those adjustments the second half that she should not have done, and it was like looking at 2 different games. The first game was good. The first half was good, solid. Everything was going. Even though it was a close game, it still was like a different game to me. Then when
I'm going to say this. So what you saw was they were playing at Iowa's pace and they got tired. They were dog tired. I mean, they were barely standing up. Everybody was hanging over their knees. And so, the second half was totally different. LSU was burnt out by the second half.
And see, I thought Iowa was burnt out.
No, Iowa is
okay.
Here's the thing: when you're LSU should have played LSU ball. They get down the court, they play half court basketball. They move the ball, they trick you up, they tire you out. They weren't doing that for Iowa because guess what Iowa does? All they do is spin that ball around that arc and somebody shooting. They looking for somebody at the 3-point line to shoot. They're not gonna play much defense.
Always.
Think about how many boards that Angel had. Think about how many boards Morrow had. Think about how many boards Flage jumped in there and had. They're not a defensive team. That's not their strategy. So why don't you put somebody out there and double team them and stop them from shooting? I mean, I just don't understand how that wasn't your game plan going in when you know these girls don't have a defensive game to sustain what you got going on. I'm going to tell you the telltale sign. Their bigs got in trouble in the first or second quarter in foul trouble. Stokey was out of the game in the second quarter. She'd already had 2 or 3 fouls. You see what I'm saying? So that right there tells you they're not a seasoned defensive team at all. She doesn't know how to play defense without fouling. I don't care what nobody say about it. They don't play any defense. But this is that same Steph Curry, Caitlin Clark basketball strategy. They're not defensive players. You pull them out of their shot range, they're not going to be able to do anything. You were able to contain that in the first half, right? But you weren't able to contain that in the second half because now you got girls that's in foul trouble and you're doing hurry up offense. The pace is all thrown off. Them girls was exhausted. They were barely getting up the court.
Well, I thought it was interesting to me because they're right there towards when LSU made that run in the second quarter, they were pushing the pace a lot. And I feel like Iowa was trying to keep up with them and none of their shots was falling. And that was interesting to me because I felt like in that quarter that Iowa looked gassed because they were not able to keep up with the physicality and LSU pushing the way they were. But Chris, what thoughts do you have?
For once, like I said at first, Caitlin to me is definitely not a defensive player. She's gonna sit back and she's gonna wait until she's able to get somebody pass her the ball or someone else rebound the ball to get to her to get down court. Another thing I'd already said from the beginning, they needed someone to check Caitlin. Wasn't nobody checking Caitlin on her dribbles because if they would have checked her on her dribbles, a lot of her shots would have been stopped from the beginning.
Period.
The other thing that I seen is like Sean was saying, they always had a player open up around the 3-point arch. They always had, and LSU zone was not there. LSU did not play zone like they did with South Carolina. They missed that totally. So when they missed that zone, that gave Iowa a momentum to keep doing what they was doing and making Caitlin make. I mean, out of the 41 points that she had, I think she threw up probably about 60 shots total.
And remember, the only time she wasn't hitting her shots is when Flage was on her. Flage
Correct.
plays very she plays that very naggy defense. It's not it's physical, but it's naggy. It's like everywhere you go, I'm here. My hands. She got quick hands and quick feet. That's the thing that's gonna shut her down. But if you got Haley Van Lip, you watching her go up for the shot, and all you doing is taking a lead. Babe, that's not gonna stop this baby. This baby's gonna shoot your eyes out all night long, and that is tiring. It's tiring because every time you done ran all the way down the court, by the time you get there, she done shot a 3. You running back the other way. That's why I was determined to pace of the game.
And this is the thing. Nobody, I don't even understand why they play this defense. They already know that they passing that ball is going to go through a rotation. None of those players on that team is going to hit. Every now and again, it's not like they are Caitlin Clark. They're not going to continue to hit threes. They're not going to shoot your lights out. Why would you even contest them when you know that they're passing that ball and eventually it's going to get to Caitlin Clark? Caitlin Clark is going to shoot your lights out every single time. Who don't know that by watching this girl play for the last 2 years? It's kind of like, why even sit there and watch them do this to themselves? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I thought it was interesting. Daphne says Haley Van Leet got cooked like hibachi. It was one point in the game, she literally just threw her hands up and was like,
I don't know what you want me to do.
Like, what else can I do?
But let's go back to Kim on that. To me, I said this.
Right.
But that's what I was trying to say. I blame Kim from the time they lost the second game to South Carolina. I had been saying that from the beginning. Kim attitude right there. And then to see the way that she was coaching, it's like she was getting mad at her girls. You can't get mad at the girls because you ain't changed up your strategy. You the leader. They out there playing the game that you are leading them to play. And you did not lead your. Go ahead.
Yeah, at one point, because Angel literally came off the court and yelled at her, "Get me the ball!
Get me the ball!" Got in
and
her
when
face.
she got her the ball, she started getting hot. And so it was
they couldn't do nothing with Angel. They literally, she had her way the whole game. And I think the only thing that slowed her down was another ankle roll. She rolled her ankle so much, she was able to shake it off, get on that bike, and get back in there. That is some serious willpower, because rolling your ankle is not something you just shake off and start running again. I know not for me. Maybe my body was made different. I never been able to do that. That's it. I ain't never been able to come and do that. That part. I had to have a set of crutches. I had to have ice pack. So for you to get on the bike and keep going, that is some serious type of bounce back. She has really conditioned her body. But I wanted to say this. They weren't getting Angel the ball. That was the huge thing. But I think Kim Mulkey was upset at the team because they got in their own head. I watched them several times on offense take shots that were not their shots. Flage was taking shots that was forced. You don't need to force shots against Iowa's defense. Take your shot. Go to the hole. That's your game. That's her game strategy every time. Flage went to the hole a total of 8 times the whole game. It totally sickened me to my stomach. That's not your game plan. So, okay, y'all not making shots beyond the arc. Okay, go to the hole. They cannot stop you. You in there rolling, spinning, and putting them on highlight reels. Why didn't you not go to the hole? And I don't want to blame it on one teammate, one player, and then here's the flip side of it. You got Williams in the game. She get hot, but you're snatching her out, trying to get Haley in rotation. What was the reason for that? Leave her in the game. She's putting you back in the game. She didn't. Haley could never get her bearings in the game. Michaela was getting her rotation. Leave her in the game. I didn't understand why you kept pulling her. The pulling, it didn't make sense.
But the other issue is
you're playing from behind.
Haley was out there with
the other thing that I kept noticing. I don't know.
Dazed and confused.
I don't know if y'all noticed that every time Morrow got hot, the ref kept calling a foul on Morrow. Morrow was getting hot on the post.
Travel.
Every time she got hot under that post, not only travel, they call about 2. It seemed like the
Offensive fouls.
first
offensive
half,
fouls,
2 or
yeah.
3 offensive fouls. Yes.
Girl was
Mhm.
not
So that
set
was
under the
another
basket, and
thing
they
that
kept saying, "Oh, you don't have to be
not at
set."
all.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. You don't got to be set. Yeah, but you also can't put your body into the you can't put your body into her
Yeah,
body.
you
And
can't put
it
your
was just
body
some
in.
very questionable calls. And then you go back and you're like, wait a minute. So you could see that Marvel was trying not to get in her own head, but she was trying not to play too aggressive because she realized the way they were blowing the whistle, right? That was gonna put them in some real trouble. And then you got little baby Del Rosario coming up in there. Little baby, you was also peeing me off last night. I'm trying not to say a cuss word. You was ticking me off because
Ticking,
all
there
of
you
you
go.
have played stronger, more dominant basketball against South Carolina. That is a way tougher
Yes.
team than Iowa could ever think of being this year.
Yes.
So what was the reason that you got in there and started playing soft? Get the ball out the goddamn air. You're already in the air. You are
Yeah.
tree and branching over them. You see what I'm saying? It was just like they didn't play their game. And I felt like there was
So
so much media stuff that got in their head. And these young folks, you know.
I mean, so let's
Can
talk
I
about it. There was sorry, go ahead, Chris.
can I say one more thing before we move on
Mhm.
to that? Did y'all notice that Caitlin Clark only had 1 foul throughout the whole game?
Whole
Yeah.
game. And guess what?
The
The
whole
foul
game.
was
She had 1 foul. And I kept asking them, okay, if Van Liff is actually checking her, why in the world that every time she extend that arm, she push off and then get a shot in?
like
That
she pushed
happened
off.
the
That's
whole
her
entire.
move.
She kept pushing
That's
off.
her move. That's her
She
move. She do it
but
every
how you
game.
got
They don't call
1
it.
foul throughout the whole game?
One
One
foul,
Yeah,
foul.
one
it was.
travel.
It was.
And
Yeah.
quiet as kept. The 1 foul she got was a makeup foul for some BS that they called on the other
From
end
the
of the
left
goal.
on the other
Yeah.
end. Yes,
Let's
it
just
was.
be honest,
It was.
because the foul wasn't really a foul. I was like, oh, what they gonna call a
Yep.
foul on Caitlin? Oh, I forgot. Just one play ago, they called some BS down here on
That's
LSU,
some
and they turned the
foolishness.
ball over. So it's
Mhm.
just like you think about it though. We're gonna watch this game against UConn. I think they're gonna get cooked because they got to have more threats to get past UConn. But here's the thing that I have: Caitlin Clark's game has not changed from when she started in women's basketball to today. She
Still the
pushes
same.
off
Nope.
every time she goes up to take a shot. Her elbow is extended. If that is going to be legal in the game of basketball, the stuff that they were calling those offensive fouls against Morrow, the big girl on the court, there's no way you can call that foul against her. If she's putting a body into them, but every time I want y'all to watch this, go back and watch a highlight or a replay. She's going to extend that elbow. I need you to go watch that elbow coming out before she go up. It's every
That
single
elbow
time
coming
they do
out.
not
Oh, yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
That's a push off every single time, and I don't care how you
Say it
slice
again for America in the back, because they ain't
Okay,
here.
so let's
Go
talk
watch.
about it. I think you guys mentioned it about LSU kind of looking like a different team. There was a lot of chatter around the team this week. There was the LA Times editorial
Washington
column
Post.
calling them the dirty debutantes, which if you know what that is, if you know what that is in the Urban Dictionary, it is not favorable. That was in their matchup against UCLA, basically setting it up as like a game of good versus evil, which was so bizarre. I was like, this is a women's basketball game. I need you to pipe
One
down
of the posts
just a little bit.
Yeah. One of the
he
posts
came
did
out-
say good versus evil. I didn't mean to
He
cut you
did.
off, but one of the articles said good versus evil.
No,
That's
it was
impressive.
his. He had a couple analogies in there. He was like
Yeah.
milk
Yeah.
and cookies versus Louisiana hot sauce. And
Yeah.
you're like, what? This you're talking
Yeah.
about. He came out, they
Oh.
issued a retraction, they corrected the article, but at that point, it's already out.
Too late.
There was the
Too
Washington Post article about Kim Mulkey that a lot of people read and were like, what is this? This is hot garbage. It was basically talking about, a couple of her personal relationships. Where I was interested because I was like, oh, this might be something interesting. It wasn't. It was a big old nothing burger. So do we think that the chatter that was surrounding LSU really got into their heads?
I
don't
think
No.
that it got into Kim Mulkey's head because she
That's
didn't
it.
even come up with a game plan. And like I said before, that plus her defending herself from some other bull crap that was going on in her own personal life, which I digress, shouldn't have even been brought up during this particular time. That could have waited. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, this is the Sweet 16. You're going to the Final Four. What are you? Well, you're trying to get there. What are you doing? Why?
Well,
They're
I
in the
think
Elite Eight.
I
Huh?
think it was intentional. I think the timing of all of this stuff was obviously intentional. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you could see
Most
that there was
definitely.
some sort of like, it was in the air and it kind of grossed
Yeah.
me out this whole week. It felt like there was like
Yeah.
this America's
Race war.
revenge on like, yeah. And then
The
you
black
even,
girls.
correct. You even had like commentators
Basically.
like setting it up like that. I think Paul Pierce,
Mhm.
I saw him today, which everybody don't deserve a mic. I work in journalism. Everybody don't deserve a mic. But he was like, I was so surprised that that white girl did that to all them black girls. I'm like, what kind of ignorant nonsense are you like? Why would you? A, why would you even say that? And B, what are you even talking about? Like, I mean, Caitlin Clark is the leading scorer in college basketball. So why
And
would you
why
even
this
be
can't be about sports? Why we can't
hello?
be about
Thank
sports?
you.
Why it's got to
Thank
be a
you.
black and white thing?
Thank you.
And that's America though. That's what we
Yes,
have.
I was going to say
Unfortunately,
this is
that's the world that we're living in at this
It's
moment
been
because
politics
we're not
all
looking
along.
at. Yeah, we're not.
And I'm
looking
going
Yeah.
to tell you something.
at-
As much as we try and draw the line there, like, why is this a black versus white thing? The thing that grosses me out the most is that I can see it. First of all, it's so blatant. Like, they don't even care about it. And it is turned into this
Yeah.
black girl versus white girl basketball. And so, now the white girl has to get her revenge, kind of thing. And it's like, first of all, there's no room for that in sports because all these teams are blended with different hues, right? So what are we even talking about? They obviously have white girls on their team, and vice versa. Did I miss something? Stokey White? Like, I don't really understand that connection or comparison. And so to me, it's just like I see that, and then I hear people tell Angel Reese, well, this was your revenge because you talk too much. You need to be humble. And there, to me, is something that triggers me with hearing people try and hush and shut up black women because we're always too loud. You're always too bossy. You always need to be humble. What is it in America's brain that you have such a determination to humble black women so much? Why does she need to be humble? She is a talented athlete. What is it that you need to humble her about? She can talk the talk and walk the walk. You still couldn't handle her.
Mentality.
She lost the game, but you didn't shut her game down. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, so at the same time, Caitlin Clark could tell the whole your
Yeah.
arena to the up.
Yeah.
She can get away with it.
She can get away with it. That's not disrespectful. But Angel Reese does a hand gesture, and that's so disrespectful.
Her hand gesture
is disrespectful.
Angel Reese,
you guys are disrespectful.
Yeah, so we got to remember the hand gesture that the Angel did last
started
year
with Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark
started with Caitlin.
Okay, so she
started with
villainized by something that was already done, right? And so that to me, that is so triggering for me, and I hate to see the commentary online. I've had to get off of the internet and social media this week because I have gotten into this zone where I'm literally ready to fuss and cuss and type everything, you know what I'm saying, that I want to say. And I can't do that. Obviously, that's not going to do anything for me. But, this need and want, you got to humble this black girl. You got to shut her up. She talked too much. What is she talking too much about? Because she's not saying anything negative. Any interview you've ever seen her sit in, she's saying, I do not hate Caitlin Clark. I like them. I respect their game. I don't hate South Carolina. I like them. I respect their game. But when we're on that court, I want to win. What is that? What do you need to humble about that? She's a ball player. Like, I don't understand it. And for men, the flip side of the coin is nobody's humbling men getting out here taunting and talking and dogging each other out because that's just the sport. That's what you did.
But that's what sports is. Like, I just don't understand why anyone is making a big deal out of it. I mean, it's not like, like you said, it's not like they're doing anything off the court. It's all confined to the game. And once the game is over, we shake hands, we keep it pushing. Like, I don't understand why everyone's making it bigger than it needs to be. But it's because America has to set up this villain versus hero narrative. And unfortunately for Angel and LSU, they had to be the villains because, oh my gosh, last year she did this and and they beat her. And so now it's like, I mean, if you guys have ever seen the movie The Great White Hype, that's kind of what it felt like. And I was like, ew, this is gross. I don't like this. I don't like the way this is moving, but that's the way everyone was kind of like
how it's going,
tipping it up. And I was just like, yeah. But Crystal, what were you saying before we move on?
Be glad when they get shut up.
That part.
America will always make it erase things. Please stick to sports. Yeah,
make it.
Lawrence, you are correct. They are
Yeah.
making it a race thing, but I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take it back to the leader. Because did y'all see how Kim Mulkey did her post interview and how she congratulated Iowa and how Iowa was Caitlin was just so good and how she gave Caitlin the biggest hug after the game.
Baby.
In that same go ahead.
She's just so
Go ahead,
She
great.
Shayna.
almost gave Caitlin whiplash the way she dragged her in to give her that hug. I was like, oh, Caitlin looked so uncomfortable because she looked like she wasn't prepared to be yanked in.
She's just so
Yeah,
great.
but I think what she was trying to hone in was that the team that they didn't hate them. She respected her as a good player. But obviously they were arch nemesis because they beat them in a championship game. And as much as people are congratulating them now, if you are reigning champions, you do have stage to talk crap because you beat them.
Correct.
You beat everybody last year. So
Correct.
that's what champions do. Champions talk because I want you now to be able to beat the champion. Okay, so you beat the champion, but you hadn't got to the finish line yet. So let's settle down here because we got some other hurdles that we got to climb.
So
And
speaking
that
of, let's
defense
go
ain't
ahead.
looking like that.
Let's go ahead and move on because that was just the Elite Eight, child. The way people acting like that, like I would just want.
Okay, like it was the championship.
But guess what? You got to play UConn and Paige Beckers and that UConn team now in the Final Four up next. And I guess at this point, you really don't have your hero versus villain narrative anymore because I guess America doesn't hate UConn. Good for them. I like Paige Beckers, you know. So guys, we saw UConn shut down Juju and USC. Well, they didn't shut down Juju because Juju still had an amazing game. She just didn't have the rest of the help around her. Yeah, she had an amazing game. Definitely one of the top freshmen outside of Madison Booker.
She just don't have no help. Juju
Doesn't have
have
any
no
help.
help.
Yeah,
Oh
she
my
don't have
God,
no help.
that number 13 put me to sleep on the court, and I wasn't even out there. That 13, she was standing in line, she was standing around.
Like, I
As
just
if,
wanted to say,
what kind
return
of
this
defense I'm
thunder.
supposed to be playing? Who I'm supposed to be covering? What am I supposed to be doing? She
Woke up,
was
put on her
totally
uniform,
lost.
and got on the court. Woke up, uniform, maybe brushed her teeth, and just arrived. That's all that baby
That's
did.
it.
That baby did nothing else to prepare for that game. She ain't read. She
God,
ain't
she
went.
was
They ain't
confused.
did no footage. They ain't did no scout report with her. They didn't do nothing. That baby came straight up out her hotel room with her uniform on.
Yeah.
And
They
got on the
said, "Oh,
court.
you
That's it.
6'9". Okay, come on."
That was it.
Maine says he does not like UConn, and
That's because
Kim agrees.
That's because you on the West Coast. You're gonna always agree for your team on the
Exactly.
West Coast, but you got to
On the West
understand, Paige played a good game, and UConn together as a team played a good
Did
game.
not.
That's just, and I'm gonna tell you what it
Oh yeah,
reminds me.
USC.
It remind me so much of the LSU. If they would have played as a team, they would have beat Iowa because Iowa always only had one player. One player can't beat 5 players on the team.
That's right.
And that's how UConn was to me with USC. USC had one player that was rebounding the ball and scoring the ball. Every time you turn around, she rebounded, she was scoring. She rebounded, she was scoring. UConn passed the ball. They shared the wealth with the rest of the team. So to me, you can see a difference when you work as a team than when you're trying to be number 45. When you want to control everything, you can't control everything.
Quit hitting the mic. Sean keep hitting the mic. I'm like, where is that?
Crystal, I don't know.
That's
why
not
that
me.
No, I'm not hitting the mic. I didn't touch
Crystal,
the mic
you
one
hit your
time.
like 10 times while you was talking.
Oh, that was
Both of
me.
y'all hitting the mic.
Okay.
All right.
But
So,
anyway, but yeah, Paige to me, and I think Paige is gonna be the one that's gonna shut CC down because Paige is a checker. She's one that's gonna check you as your ball handling skills and how far. And Paige have a reach that to me CC is not gonna be ready for. It's not gonna be like it was with Van Leaf. Paige is gonna check her, and it's gonna be a tough game for her because you got to understand UConn have other defensive players.
Defense. UConn is a defensive team.
Correct. They're not a scoring team.
Baby, it was gonna
They
shut
are
that
not.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Daphne says she thinks Gino might be scared. I don't think Gino is
I
ever
don't think
scared.
he's
You talking about
He ain't
somebody?
scared.
How
He
many
been in this
championships
game
that
too many
Gino?
times.
I was
Gino
Gino.
finna get in the game longest Daphne been in this world.
Okay, moving
Go
on.
ahead. Sorry.
Gino pulling y'all coattail because he ain't scared. He has coached against the best of them. Okay, he gonna be
Yes.
just
Now he
Correct.
may say he don't want her to score 50
Shoot 50.
points. He ain't scared though. Yeah, he gonna
Yeah.
make sure he shut that down.
yeah.
I mean, Gino went up against the Tennessees of the world when they used to be the
Yes.
team. to beat.
Dog.
Yes.
Dog.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're scared of Iowa, but let's go ahead and look at that Final Four prediction: UConn versus Iowa. Tracy, who you got?
UConn.
Of course.
How
I'm
about
never
we all
gonna
just
beat
say it
Iowa.
all together?
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
UConn.
UConn.
We got UConn.
Oh, Shina, she doing it.
No, I
Shina,
think
who you got?
UConn. I like UConn. I've always liked Gino. I've met him a few times. Great guy. I've gone to many of UConn games in the day. I love that team. So if I had to pick like a favorite women's team, it would be UConn. Like they're the who I've watched the most over the years. So I'm definitely picking UConn. All right. So looking on the other side, you got NC State, led by one Sanaya Rivers, who transferred from South Carolina, Gamecock, former Gamecock, against undefeated South Carolina, who we saw take out who
Battle of the
did they
state line. The battle of the state line right there.
Who did South
Y'all,
Carolina
I'ma
I
just say
forgot who South
everybody
Carolina
said
played.
that South Carolina was gonna be battling with the state against USC and they dog walked them girls. I do believe that North Carolina State can be streaky, but they got to play all 4 quarters.
Oregon State. That's right. Thanks, Daphne. I was like, who
Oh.
did they play? I couldn't even remember that game, child. I was like, this ain't. I mean, Oregon State hung in there with them for like a little bit, but then I mean, it was a foregone conclusion that South Carolina was going to win that game. So, what do we think is going to happen in that? I mean, kudos. I will say this: shout out to NC State, both men and women making it to the Final Four. So, kudos to them on that. And we'll get to that men's team and UConn too.
And UConn, men and women. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know their athletic directors are bringing in the guap right now.
Yes.
They getting paid. You hear what I say?
So I mean, I think it's gonna be a scrappy game. I think Sanaya and the other girl, what's her name? Asia. Is her name Asia? Is that how you pronounce it? It's a weird spelling.
Isaiah James.
It's
Isaiah
There it
James.
is. Isaiah
Yeah.
James.
Oh,
There it is.
Isaiah.
I want to call her Asia. My bad, Isaiah. Don't hate me. They're a scrappy team, but like you said, Sean, I think they're streaky. So I don't know if they can maintain the consistency against South Carolina. But Tracy, who you got winning?
South Carolina.
All
day.
Girl, I got South Carolina to the end. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Same. Melissa.
South Carolina.
Shonsky, who you got?
You ain't got to ask me that. You know who I got. How you know I got South Carolina?
I think
You know
South
I got the
Carolina win
SEC.
those. Correct.
That's what I
I'm
chant the
around
whole
with them.
game. SEC. Because I found myself in the middle of the LSU Iowa game chanting with the crowd. And I said, did I just say LSU? Nora said, Mommy, what team are we rooting for? I said, the purple one just for these games, maybe just I don't want it to get confused.
Don't confuse the baby.
Baby. Okay, I tell you what, let's just say SEC. SEC.
Why is Maine booing us? He don't like South Carolina. Oh man, you a major hater.
South Carolina victorious. I don't know. He West Side.
Oh, he don't want me to be saying he don't want me to be saying LSU probably.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, moving on to the men's side, which I ain't gonna lie, surprise of the tournament for me. I will eat all the crumbs because I'm just like, wait, what is going on? University of Alabama, led by Coach Nate Oates, roll tide 16 threes in the game. First Final Four in program. He's like, what? I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Is anybody else shocked?
Hey, no, I'm not shocked.
I am. I did not pick that. I did not pick that. I did not pick them going back past the Sweet 16. I didn't. So
I
to
did.
see them go here,
did.
I am shocked.
Look, I could bring y'all my brackets back if y'all want to see. I had Bama coming out of the West. I'm sorry, I was just trying to go back and see if we need to refresh anybody's memory because I had Bama in that bracket all the way to the Final Four, baby. Let's go, roll
I
Tide,
did too,
roll
baby.
Tide. Let's go, baby.
Roll Tide, roll.
Yo, okay, but here's the thing, because before the tournament started, y'all were talking about how they didn't have any big
Big
men
men.
under.
Yeah,
They
that
didn't
was
have any
me.
big men.
That was me.
We
And
saw
They still struggling. Pringles are still
Child.
struggling. Pringles
Pringle
struggled.
is he
He
did.
was struggling. He finally picked up his game the fourth quarter.
He did.
Mhm.
And Grant Nelson,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if Grant
It
Nelson
made
looked
them
like he
keep
about
playing.
55, child, with that mustache. I'm gonna need him to do something with his face. But anyway,
He could do whatever he
When
wants. Just keep on
Sears-
shooting.
But Nelson is a good shooter. Nelson is the
No.
shooter. Nelson can he
Keep
can
on
also
shooting,
play
baby.
your post guy and your wing guy. So to me, Nelson is a.
and
I'm
Sears had the hot hand. So
Yeah.
somebody told me, and I'm gonna need y'all to look at it. This was the man here in
You
the house.
had
He
Duke
said that
in the championship. Lawrence Starworth III. We apologize, but Duke ain't done nothing in the past 6 years.
No,
Oh.
sir.
ouch.
No, sir.
He said that yes, Kim, Grant needs some weight. Yes, he is just tall and lanky. He don't look like he know what to do with his limbs.
Kai, he look
not
like
there.
he look like that air blow thing that be blowing in the wind.
He not a true big man. He not a true big man. He a guard. And I
Yeah.
think people expect because of his height for him to be a big man. He's a shooting guard.
But I've got one thing. Did y'all see how Stevenson, the young freshman who mom used to play for
stepped
North
up.
Carolina? Did you see how he stepped up? Yes.
Stepped up. Him
Yes.
and Griffin.
So
Him and
yes.
Griffin. They stepped up big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Big
did.
time.
That was
I
it.
had all them coming out of there. Only person I slept on was UConn, and I'm so disgusted, like my daddy said, with myself because as much as I cannot stand Slauburn, I truly did not see them getting kicked out to Yale. I didn't see it, and so I'm just speechless. I'm still confused about what Auburn had going on.
Well, we're gonna get to UConn in just a second, but I want y'all to go back and look at Sears from Alabama. And if y'all remember that show Married with Children, you remember the show Married with Children.
Oh
Yes.
Lord,
Sears,
really, Shayna.
Sears looked like if Bud had a kid with a black woman. I'm sorry.
You got the actually you can cut your mic off. You're done for the night.
Yeah,
we got it from
yeah,
here.
We gonna mute Haley and Daphne, can y'all mute Shayna, please?
We got it from here. She's done.
Not Bud.
She's
No.
done.
You all.
And you ain't gonna talk about Mark like that. For Lamika get on here and get ready to push you out.
He look like if Bud had a baby with a black woman. I don't care what
Did y'all
nobody.
see
He like a biracial Bud.
His
No,
mama
yeah.
to me remind me of how Sean and Tracy probably be acting in the stands. Do y'all pay his mama?
I
any
love
attention?
Lamika. I love Lamika. I do. And I love
pay you attention.
I love Lamika.
Amen.
I love Lamika, but what's funnier is that sometimes the husband have to tune her out because she be doing a lot and he be trying to focus on the game. And sometimes they'll zoom the camera into her and she going absolutely wild. He like this. He trying to, stay in the game. Yeah, but she played the game with him. She make a sound. She know what to say when he getting ready to shoot. She got some for his free throw shot. She got some for his dribble. Like she got all kind of sounds and hand gestures for everything he got going on. She plays the game with him.
Oh my God.
You right
Oh
about
wow,
that.
you got Bama beating UConn. I do too, Lawrence. I have Bama beating UConn as well.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
do.
I
It's
mean,
gonna
we
be
can
a
go
match,
ahead.
but yeah,
Let's
I
go
can put it in.
I mean, you had UConn. Okay, let's just talk about that UConn game because what was it? Illinois?
There wasn't no game.
Illinois.
That wasn't no game, Shayna. We got 2 seconds on that game. It lasted 2 seconds, just like them points. Did you see that 40-point lead?
They went on a 30-0 run. Illinois went a whole 58 minutes without scoring. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. I felt I wanted to cry for them. Like my eyes started watering because I was like, oh man. And then the fact that they kept reminding us that they weren't making any shots.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
It was very
terrible.
bad. I got that secondhand embarrassment off of it. I
Yes.
was like,
It was
oh, what do we
terrible.
do here?
So the question is, how did they make it to that round? How did Illinois? Who did they play? Because they ended up look like they were playing
Auburn.
Albert Bryan and some
So-
Hankins.
No, they
They
played.
play
They was the
Auburn.
Iowa State. You talking about Illinois played Iowa State before that,
Yeah.
and it was a close
Well,
game. It wasn't no blowout.
Illinois, to be fair though, Illinois came out of a very easy region, section of the draw. The only really challenge they had there was Iowa State. I mean, the other people in that section of the bracket was like Washington
BYU.
State, BYU, and BYU lost what first round. So it was like they really didn't have a ton of challenges coming out. So they kind of
Mm-mm.
snuck in and unfortunately got exposed big time.
Exposed. Exposed. No, they got swallowed.
Wallow.
No, no. Hey, mute all their phones. Mute everybody but me and Tracy. Please mute them. And Tracy, don't you say nothing.
All right.
Thank you, because baby, them three right there.
Hey, I'm muted. What?
Mhm.
I got another one. Purdue came out of a little easy region too. Now let's not. I think other than Tennessee, they didn't really have any competitors, any contenders. I was surprised to see them beat Tennessee, but I'm going to tell you,
Unmute.
y'all, Tennessee's problem was the same thing that Caitlin's about to see, and the same thing USC just saw 2 nights ago. They got Dalton Connect and they hanging their hat on him closing out games. Dalton Connect has been shut down for the greater part of the NCAA tournament. Okay.
Yep.
All through the season, all you heard was connect on to this, connect on to that. We done went through the SEC and seen SEC teams shut Dalton Connect down on defense. Okay. So they didn't have no real strategy outside of trying to get him open and get him to shoot. When he can get open, he gonna shoot it. He like Caitlin. But
That's right.
SEC play defensive ball games. You understand what I'm saying? But they didn't have no real tough bracket. Purdue did, if we being honest. So I know we giving you, I know we giving Illinois and them a little bit of credit, saying well they didn't have but Purdue didn't really have much.
They didn't. They didn't. I mean, the toughest competition they had out was Gonzaga.
Tennessee. Oh well.
Oh, and then I mean, just out of that section before they actually got to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I expected Tennessee to really do something, so I was a little disappointed on that. I mean, Zach Edey, he basically, he dominated in the paint against Tennessee. I was real surprised because I thought they were going to shut him down, but they were unable to.
Did he have 99 points? How many points he had?
I'm so
on the team. I'm sorry, the team ain't have 99, so he ain't have 99. Well, if they had 29, he had 27 of them heifers. I know.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about Caitlin Clark. The team made 80 something. She made half of the whole team. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so my sleeper favorite in this tournament, I guess I'm gonna say NC State. Everybody has been shocked to see NC State make it to the Final Four. I think they kind of came out of nowhere. What's the big guy's name? DJ? Like they trying to recruit him to play football.
DJ Burns, yeah.
Yeah. But that big boy be moving though.
Baby, I say he put
Shaq
to shame, don't it? For real.
He be moving.
Shaq, Big Baby, and Zion.
This right here, this how the ball look in DJ Burns' hand. You see this piece of paper? It look like he just carried a little piece of gum, little bubble gum, gum ball. That's how it looked like when he carrying the ball in his hand. It blows my mind. God, dog, why he got to be so big and so powerful? What you gonna do with him?
Can't do
Walk
nothing
around with a piece
baby.
of bubble gum. What
baby,
this man gonna do with that? Exactly. He down there. All he doing is missing the sounds. But hey, when he get active, he get active. I have never seen somebody so large.
I'm done.
Yeah, he plays.
But
good,
in
though.
but
He
did y'all
plays
he's
good
quick
ball.
on his he quick
He
on
That's
his
is
what
quick
I'm
feet.
on his
saying.
feet.
And you
He
got to
Yeah.
be
is a
quick on
good
your feet.
postman.
When have you ever seen a post player his size and so dominant that he can move around? He is light on his feet.
He
I've never
very
seen
light on
him.
his feet.
Well,
I like that
Maine,
coach though. I like that
Maine
coach.
still saying
No one
boo.
said boo.
well,
I got
first
to
he
ride
made-
with the
he
coach.
told what did he tell the Duke fans? You're done. It's
Yeah.
over.
And they was
Goodbye.
done.
You're
And they was
done.
over.
Baby, they
Goodbye.
was scared.
They was
That's it. They got swallowed like a little baby piece of bubble gum. They got swallowed.
I'm done.
Chris, come back. Chris, come back.
I'm sorry.
Baby.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's look at it. What's our predictions? We got NC State versus Purdue. Who you got coming out of this? Tracy.
Ooh, NC State. I'm going with them.
Chris.
I'm going with NC State.
Okay. Melissa.
North Carolina State.
Okay. She's got to be proper. Just say NC State.
Because you could have just said, hey, y'all, say it all together. 1, 2, 3.
Sean,
NC State.
Sean, who you got?
I got the wolf pack. Got the wolf pack.
I'm gonna go with the
Got to
Wolfpack
have.
too. All
I
right.
thought
look
maybe
at-
you was gonna pick the other team.
No, I'm not gonna pick
No.
Purdue. I don't know. I don't really like them. I don't like them. The
I
other
don't like
side,
Purdue either.
Alabama versus number 1 overall seed, defending champion UConn. Tracy.
I'm rolling, baby. I'm rolling with the tide.
We all
I'm like
rolling.
Roll Tide.
Baby, we
Melissa.
all
I see
rolling.
Willie on
We
TikTok.
rolling
We
in
all
the deep.
rolling.
Sean, you
No.
rolling too?
I'm gonna hit y'all with a drewski. I don't give about nothing but the tide.
Yeah.
I can't say the cuss word, but that's all that's what I got to say. I don't give about nothing but the tide.
I
We already know.
Go ahead.
We already know.
I picked UConn to win
We
it.
know.
Oh,
It's
okay. We kind of figured that, but it's all right.
Shayna, you please be so for real. You lived in Connecticut for 3 whole days.
Man
Let's
gives
stop.
you the whole boo face. Man gave you the gas face.
First of all,
Oh.
I lived in Connecticut for 6 years, not 3
I-
days.
Well, I'm
Calm
talking about in
down.
comparison to how long you were born and raised in Bama.
Child, I'd have lived longer outside of the South than I lived in Alabama at this point. But
That part is true.
if-
but let's be
if
honest.
the Tide does win, I will not be upset. I do want them to win, but I definitely picked UConn in my bracket. So
That's right.
And
Stick
I don't
with your
care.
bracket, baby. Stick with your bracket.
And you know what? When we come back up here, when we come back. Well, no, because next they play Monday night. But on Tuesday,
So we doing it Tuesday.
yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday, everybody.
We'll be out on Tuesday. Yes.
And guess what? We're gonna have one question for Shayna. Can anybody guess what the question gonna be?
Go ahead. Because baby,
Have
you
you ever
becoming-
Welcome to the
Whoa.
neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I can't. I can't.
it's been Pep is shaking his head aggressively at me. Who, me?
You.
That's
You.
You. Shame on you.
To think about it. She said, "Who me?"
Your bracket been busted up anyway. Shame on you for going against the Tide.
I was going
Yep.
against them. I was just saying who I picked in the beginning.
Who she picked him?
March
Okay,
Madness.
but we ain't in
March
the
Madness
beginning.
is crazy.
We're at the end.
I
So who do
mean-
you pick now?
Well, I'm just saying the team that I picked to win it in the beginning is still there. They weren't there.
That's right.
Okay,
the
but
team
now
I
let's watch
picked in the
them play.
beginning is still
Missy.
there.
Don't be trying to defend your sister. You're here now.
Hey,
I mean,
both of
still
our
right.
teams are still there.
I want Alabama to win, but as Crystal said, Pringle still struggled until literally the fourth quarter. If Sears hadn't got the hot hand when he did, because baby, it was raining threes here in Los Angeles, which I'm happy for them. It was raining threes. I mean, he was knocking them down every time he got it. I was like, oh, that's money. That's money. And like I said, old man Nelson, I don't know. I just don't know.
But don't let Nelson get too hot either. When Nelson get hot, everybody else, it's a problem.
It's
So
a problem.
just because Sears is not
Tracy.
consistent.
their
He
hand
do
like
have
this?
other people.
Daddy. When that thing get hot,
This daddy.
boy,
Put him to sleep.
put him to sleep.
I can't with y'all.
Y'all just
Okay. So as we close
Air
out the
pro
show,
hands for me.
I wanted to close out the show with a little
Oh,
treat for
Jesus
everybody.
Christ. Oh, Lord.
As we all
Oh,
know,
Lord.
it was Easter. It was Easter this past Sunday.
Oh, Jesus.
Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day. And y'all already know what's my favorite thing on on planet Earth. What's my favorite thing to talk about on this show?
Church drama.
Church.
Church
Church,
chaos.
church shenanigans are my favorite. I love.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
I'm
Lord.
scared.
I'm scared.
Everybody know the song. Is it called "That's Love"? You know the song where they go,
They hung him high.
hung him
And
high.
spread
Is
the
it
light.
called "That's Love"? What's the name of
If
that
you
song?
about
Is
to
it "That's
put
Love"?
Caitlin on here, I'm gonna holler. I'm gonna flip out my chest.
No.
No,
So I want
Lord,
to
don't
show
put me
y'all.
on now.
This was my favorite rendition of that this past Resurrection Sunday. Let's everybody.
we ain't ready. Look at Trace.
Oh, Lord.
Let's everybody.
I hope it ain't me.
Let's everybody take a look.
Then you keep playing the same. You just keep playing it. Smoke coming everywhere.
Solo. He was the solo.
Diffuser. Yeah, Tracy. With the diffuser. He killing them drums.
Hey,
Oh.
what she heard? He was the one singing the solo. It wasn't about her. It was about him.
Oh, come out.
We didn't even hear the words she was singing.
I am flabbergasted. I'm like, Cat Williams. I'm just flabbergasted.
I can't breathe,
I just heard.
baby. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm so done. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my gosh.
Shayna, you are fired. You are suspended from the next episode.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
You are suspended from the next episode. Because, baby, I mean, he was them drums. Oh, my God. And that
And
whole
what
bass drum, I
made
thought
him
he
think
had
that
to kick the
sounded
hole in it.
good? What?
I thought he...
When did
Oh,
that
my
come in?
God.
I've been listening to that song for 35 years. I never heard that right there. Boom down there.
Somebody said drum roll, please.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was already...
Oh my God.
It was rolling by itself for real. Oh,
The
my
best,
And
The best part was the humidifier going off. It literally looked like smoke was coming off the drums. He was hitting so hard. He was trying.
The whole time I thought it was Fonzie. God dog, he played them things so he got his
Yes. I thought it was the keyboard at first smoking. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on?
Baby.
What blowed me was she tried so hard to be able to sing louder, sing over, but she didn't have a voice for it. So she was singing like me, like
What blows me is when I
Alto-
see in that doggone
Altina. That was
that
she thinking
computer
Altina.
seat. Why she got the computer chair up there? Look like a gaming chair. She's sitting in a gaming chair playing the keyboard. God, oh, video master. Jesus ain't pleased today.
Ooh. Well,
One
I
thing
know
we
one
do know is
thing.
he came to play. He came.
He
to
did,
play.
and I know
That
one
day.
thing. That drum solo definitely helped Jesus rise from the grave. Because baby, it woke him up. Woke him up.
I could
He
imagine
rose.
what he really was ready to do is come and take them sticks out his hand because what it looked like when you do
And
it.
beat him with them sticks. He need to be
part.
beat with them sticks.
Do it so much.
Oh,
But I think if he would have put a hole in them drums, he probably would turn around and start beating the walls. Because baby,
I
said
thought
that
he
was
had
his
busted
song,
through that
y'all.
girl. That was
He said that
insane.
was
I
his
was like,
song.
why you beat those drums? Like, why would you do
I'd have heard
I
that
and he
song
didn't have
play.
no sound barrier.
I'm talking
He
about
didn't have
so
a
many
sound.
ways.
And
You
that
ain't
and
got
that
no
was the
sound
point I was
barrier.
gonna get to, Chris. There was no sound barrier. It
There was
really
no sound
reminded
barrier.
me. It
Yes.
it reminded me of being at our church back home. We were in a small church, and you got 8 amps
Drum right
hooked
here.
up.
And the drum right here next to the
Right.
people.
The drum right there. You can't hear a word we singing. We literally hollering up there in the choir stand. So the people out in the audience can hear us because you playing so loud.
And no, her hearing messed up. She better go to an audiologist when she get done. She should have been there Monday morning. I know he done tore her eardrums up. Okay, he
Slap
obviously they might have been into it. I'm trying to figure out what was the reason. They might have been into it. They were mad at each other. He was going on. He was carrying on something bad.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at them symbols, baby, because honey,
Girl.
When the clip first came on, she did what I did earlier, Chris. She had to wipe the sweat off her forehead. He was tearing her. You know what I'm saying?
you talking about so.
I mean, that's one of my favorite songs too. And when I tell you that drum solo really butchered it, I was like, "Ooh, Lord!"
Hey, don't you search no more church chronicles.
Doing that church shenanigans.
No, tell you.
Church
You
shenanigans.
know, oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Mine
Oh
was-
my God. I was debating on whether I wanted to put y'all to sleep on the way out of here, but I think we kind of up now. So, you know,
Are we going back to church?
Thank you, everybody, for joining the live. Make sure you give this video a like, leave a comment on the video. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe to our channel. We're on all the things at Pep Talk Pod _ on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the Facebook. So we
I'm gonna do like that little boy say his Easter speech. I'm sick of this place.
I'm sick of this church. You sick of this church?
Well, this ain't the church, so that's why I said I'm sick of this place. I'm sick of y'all.
I'm so done.
Guys, we will see y'all next week after March Madness concludes. But on that note, let's again thank the Lord. Happy Resurrection Day, and we'll see y'all next week. We're not gonna put y'all to sleep because it's too loud. So good night, everybody.